It's very exciting to see Jonny Depp right here, just like I am, standing in front of this poster. I'm Cynthia Lazaris, and I collect wax. I love everything rare, weird, and wonderful. I have been spending my entire life traversing swap meets, garage sales, and auctions looking for the newest piece to add to my collection. As you look around the room, there's a little bit of everything. Join me on my journey to find the weird and the wonderful. There's a lot of collectors out there that collect vintage posters, or some of them just collect some pop art type posters that just came from their latest movie. But everybody's a collector, and it's fun when they all get together and they go to poster shows with all the paper goods that are out there, with lobby cards and posters. And if you look around this room, you're going to see some interesting posters. We were able to come across some interesting pieces at the flea market. Every once in a while you'll find a treasure, but you kind of have to dig. And I'll tell you, you have to be a little bit tricky. Sometimes people think that they have something that's worth a lot of money, but it's not really. But then if you look through, you'll find something that's kind of nondescript. But look at it and think, wow, is this part of something that I would like to be able to be a part of as far as collecting and hanging it up in my house? And so look for that. And that's an important thing, is expand your mental thinking about collecting. Kind of open the doors, because it might bring you to something else. Don't turn away when something is knocking at your door, because it could be something that invites you to something bigger and better, and it might be just waiting for you. Part of the collection is this beautiful poster that my son was able to stumble onto at the flea market in Long Beach, which is the Bikini Beach. It fits every part of his collection, which is, number one, it has drag racing in it, which my son is a drag racer, and he collects old vintage car memorabilia, and he has dragster pieces. And so this one kind of covers that whole thing, where you've got kind of like the 1960s with Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon. It looks up, it looks go-go. You've got go-go dancers jumping around next to the, dancing around next to the dragsters, and it's a humongous poster. One thing about this poster is the size. The size is huge. I love the colors and the way the graphics are. It's got the dragsters, it's got the go-go dancers, it's got Annette in her two-piece bathing suit. And I'm sure you all know that story about how Walt Disney didn't want her to be in a bikini. She had to be in just a two-piece because he wanted her to show her modesty. So this poster represents a lot of things. It's kind of like that tiki era, which brings in a whole other collection. It fits in so many different little avenues for collectors. People that just collect things from the 60s, mid-century modern. If you know me, you know how I love the paranormal. It's exciting and it's fun. It gives me goosebumps. And I love the poster that's behind me, which is the ghost from Dragstrip Hollow. This was a find. We looked and looked and looked everywhere, and it was hard to find. And this one is signed by one of the actresses that's in it, which is very exciting. And I have a picture of her and her signing it. Isn't that wonderful? And it was a real addition to our collection. Well, what I like about it is it's got an old tea bucket in it, an old hot rod roadster. And we have one just like that in our garage, so it looks wonderful sitting next to it. Well, what I think is so funny about this poster is if you look at when he takes his burnout on the drag strip, he shoots a hole right through this ghost's stomach. It's pretty crazy, and that's what we love, is crazy. when you look at it, it's really kind of, as I say, the 60s for sure. It's got one guy up there, and he's got all these women scantily clad all around him, and it's called Wild Racers. And it's featuring Fabian, which of the 60s was one of the sex symbols of the 60s. This one has really great eye appeal because of the color scheme. It's got the gray and it's got the red. It's got big bold lettering, and it's kind of a B movie. It fits into a whole different collector's theme. It fits into our race car collection because it's got the sex, it's got the racing, it's got everything going on. You gotta look at this. This is great. Look what it says. It says, show him a curve and he'll take it on 2 wheels or with a kiss. Can't get any better than this. One of my dreams and passion is to have sideshow type memorabilia. I've always loved the circus. When I was just a child, my father would take me to freak shows, he would take me to circuses, he would take me to fairs, anything that had some sort of weird oddity going on. I remember driving with him, and we would be going somewhere in the dark, and I would look in the distance and there would be sparkly lights, and my dad would be, let's turn, let's go, let's find it. And we would get there and we would go in and we would see the fat lady, or we'd see the alligator man, or we would see some monkey boy. It was just so exciting to be able to go in and see that. And that's what I love about the mystery of life, the weird dark side and the craziness about it. It really inspires me, and it's fun. I would love to be able to have a sideshow poster somewhere. I don't even have any room or space for it right now, but who knows, maybe someday I'll get a big warehouse and I could have it full of sideshow posters hanging. But when we were at the flea market and we saw this circus poster, it was so exciting because I think about, oh, who looked at this? And where was it nailed up? Like on the side of a building, and it talks about the circus coming to town. And the colors are just so bold. So when you're driving down the street, you look and you see this bright yellow and orange, and it's exciting, and it says Simbo's Temple, April 26th, May 1st. You know that everybody was trying to get tickets so they could go and take their kids, and it says 101 thrills. And that's what I love about it. I've always loved the sideshow. I happened to stumble onto this framed picture behind me, which is a poster, and I was reading what it said, and it was so bizarre, which appeals to me because you know how I love the bizarre and the crazy. I said, oh, I want this piece. So I asked him, how much? And the guy was kind of appalled by it and didn't like it really. So he said, oh, you can have it for $20. So I said, okay. So I took it along with my other things, and I brought it home. And I always thought it was interesting, but I wasn't quite sure where it would have come from. So one day, my son was watching TV, and he was watching Ed Wood. And Ed Wood, which was Jonny Depp, was standing right in front of my poster. And we all screamed, oh my gosh, pause it, oh my gosh, it can't be true. So we looked, and it was the poster from Ed Wood. It was one of the many posters that was inside the agent's room of the movies that he had produced, which were kind of crazy B movies that were nobody had ever heard of. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is really weird. I mean, it's right up Ed Wood's alley. This is crazy, where it says, frank, bold, daring, nothing held back, nothing concealed. Is love a sin? Learn the answers by seeing. Wasted Lives was the name of the movie. Starring, is it Ichida? Chiro? We're not sure about that one. Extra, in color, the birth of twins. Shown for the first time on any screen. Told with delicacy and in reverence. As daring a picture as the screen will ever get. And it shows a doctor holding two babies up and spanking their bottoms at the same time. Is that weird or not?